Hi, my name is Santos Robles. I work as an IT solution technician at LA Unified. I worked for LA Unified for about 30 years. I spent about 8 years as a teacher assistant and the last about 20 years as a computer technician. The reason I decided to work in education, I always felt that there was a calling for me to help and to help people. I enjoy it. It makes me feel good when I help somebody. It's that whole self-satisfaction of helping others. So I knew that I wanted a job there. I was able to get a job as a TA. Worked my way through for a while, became a technician. I love what I do, helping staff and kids, everybody with their computers, their devices, and helping them solve whatever problems they might have. And that's probably been the most rewarding part of my job is just helping. I can't help everybody, but if I can help a few and a few others like me can help some more, we can probably help everybody. So I've been a member leader at the union since I got started. I was actually part of the group that helped organize TAs to become part of Local 99. I did hold the position of vice president on the executive board, shop steward. I've been shop steward for many years. Currently, I'm in the negotiations team. I was on the last negotiations team, and I am in the labor management committee team. The strike, as far as what it meant, at least to me, to go on strike, it was a strike for dignity, respect, and above all, obviously, it's about finances, about money, being able to at least make a living working for the district. It wasn't very difficult for me to go on strike, but I'm kind of in the labor movement. I understand what it takes, and sometimes there's sacrifice that has to be made. And if you have to go days, even I guess weeks without pay, then that's what it is, and you figure out a way to do it, and you just work it out. I did have some coworkers who were not, very kind of hesitant to go out on strike for different reasons. Some of them, they were still on probation, which meant they were not fully employed by the district. So they were afraid that they were going to not pass probation. So there was a big issue there with, especially in our department, because we have a lot of, our department has grown a lot, it's just IT, so it's a lot of new people. And so they were concerned about that. And there was a few other people with similar reasons or reasons that you would expect, like financial reasons, things like that. But overall, most people were out, and most people were at the event that happened, and it was obviously it was a success. Leading up to the strike, I guess really leading up to the rally, that was that March 15th rally. It was very exciting. It was actually unprecedented. There was the teachers union at UTLA and the SEIU Local 99 working together along with some of the other unions to actually participate in a strike together in a coordinated effort, you would say. Because usually it's the opposite. Usually the district would find a way to get SEIU and UTLA to be against each other, so fighting each other while they're trying to negotiate contracts. But this time it was totally different. We joined forces. It was very successful. I think it was unprecedented, and can't wait till the next strike. I don't want another strike, but I understand and I know that our members and the community and the parents, everybody, understands why we go on strike, why we have to fight for what we're fighting for. A quick example, so a building and grounds worker, they just broke the $20 an hour barrier. So if you've been a buildings and ground worker for 25 years at the district, you were never able to earn more than, you were always under $20 an hour. Currently, I believe the minimum wage for any LAUSD job is $22.52, which is great. It's not optimal. Obviously, life costs more than $22.52 an hour, but we'll see what we can do at the next negotiations, working with the district and obviously the state, because the money does come from the state budget. Well, the rally, again, I'll go back to the rally. It was awesome. Grant Park, it was jam-packed with people. I actually got a chance to speak when I went on stage. I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, I'll just walk out there and just do my part and just walk back off. But once I was on stage and focus was on me and I had the mic in my hand, it was like, I looked out and I'm like, wow, this is what it feels like to be a rock star. And I did feel butterflies, and I probably started my part a little shaky, but I think I did all right. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere.
Well, the one at Beaudry, you were also on stage right here.
Oh yeah, the one at Beaudry, and we had the big rally at Beaudry. It was also awesome. I mean, that intersection was jam-packed with people. Flatbed truck, designed for rallies. It was great. There's a lot of pictures of that. There was a sea of purple and red, and there were other colors in there. Like I said, there was other unions that were involved. Maybe they were not as publicized, but there was CSEA Local 500, and we had the trades, and even some of the Teamster members were out there. So yeah, it was kind of a family affair, you would say, a union family affair where everybody comes together. Because in the end, if you think about it, everybody has to negotiate a contract. So everybody's obviously trying to get a pay raise, everybody's trying to get better contract language, everybody's trying to make things better, not only for the members, but when things are good for the members, they're good for the community, because the members are happy, they're excited to go to work, they feel appreciated. When I say they, I mean we, right? Because I work for the district. So we feel appreciated. We feel like the district, especially when they negotiate in good faith. I mean, it's difficult, and I know negotiations can be tough. And sometimes you just have to make tough choices. But I think we need to find a midpoint where everybody's happy and people can actually make a living. I guess the time that we spent with Mayor Bass at City Hall, the district's negotiations team and our negotiations team, and the arbitrators that were there, it was really exciting time. It was tiring. It required us to be up and awake and negotiating and talking about things and evaluating and making decisions for hours. I mean, talking about longer than a job, right? We were there till midnight, and then we came back the next morning and continued negotiating. We did have 2 arbitrators from the state. I think they did a good job. They did a great job. I mean, we did come up with an agreement. We didn't have to go on a second strike, or we didn't have to do anything to really, we didn't have to do anything more to make what happened happen for the community and the workers. Because a lot of the workers that work at schools live by the schools, live near the schools. So they are also part of the community. And that's me. I'm one of them. And then my kids or our kids go to the schools. So when we help the schools and we help the employees, we're actually helping the community. And I don't know if that's always understood or if people see it that way. Maybe I see it wrong, but I think I'm right when I say that we are the community. Our kids go to our schools. I service computers sometimes at schools where my kids go. So we're all part of it. It's all one big network of people, I guess. Part of I guess the most memorable part of the whole agreement, a contract, is the pay raise that was received. A lot of it was retroactive, but I think it was well deserved. I think our members and all of the members, all the union members that work at the school district, I think in the bottom, all of us have a heart for what we do. We do it for a reason, because we like to give, because we like to help. So I think everybody who works at the district is working there, obviously, to make a living, but because they have it in them to help, to give. I don't really run into too many people that are selfish about it. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't care about these kids. I just want my money." Like, I don't hear that. I don't hear that from anybody. And people don't act like that, right? People act like they care. Classroom aides, they care. I was a TA. Technicians, I'm a computer technician, we care. Nurses, they care. Office SAAs, teachers, buildings and grounds people, everybody cares. And that's the beauty of being here, working here, and all people want to do is make a living, helping kids and helping, they're the future. The kids are our future leaders, so we have to treat them like they are and make sure that they are properly educated, that opportunities are available for them. I know the economy fluctuates. Things are good, things are bad, but in the end, if you prepare, if you have for your kids especially, you have a plan for them, make sure that, help execute. Obviously, education is probably a good starting point, right? Make sure that you're educated, you can read, you can write, you can articulate, you can speak, you can advocate for yourself. If you can do all that, I think people can go very, very far. So that's what I try to instill in my kids and in the kids that I help when I help kids at the schools. So now the strike happened, we had the contract, and then we all went back. When we went back to work, everybody was excited. Everybody was happy. Everybody was like, wow, we did it. I didn't know that we could do this. It was great. The excitement was real because Local 99 hasn't really had a strike in over 30 years. For LA Unified, about 30 years. The last strike was, not that long ago. Anyway, the bottom line is a lot of people were not trained or did not know what it took or what it takes to go on strike. So a lot of member outreach had to be done. A lot of member education had to be done. A lot of, we had to expand our leadership base, so more leaders had to be identified. I think the union staff did a great job at this. We had all kinds of events going on, different parts of the city, different dates, and I believe the organizers did an awesome job. The staff who runs the union, awesome. I believe the direction that the union is going in right now is awesome. So I just say, my hat goes off to everybody who was involved from the union side who actually made this happen. Because alone, we couldn't do it alone because obviously we need the organizational backing that the union provides. And that's why you should join the union and pay your dues and understand why you're paying them and enjoy the fact that you have a strong union. I don't know who this message is going out to, but maybe some non-members will see it.
Future members.
Future members and Well, you can cut that part out. I remember. And but yeah, join the union. Be strong. Be knowledgeable. Understand, because the union is you, and you make the union strong. Again, it's all predicated on your contract. Nobody negotiates their own contract with the union unless you're a contractor, which we're not. So we all are under the guides of the union contract that is negotiated. So it would be to everyone's interest to participate and to know what's going on. I think a lot of our members' lives have changed after the strike. I think a lot of people are understanding how much power we actually have as a union when we unite and we work together. It also made us understand that every time the district says that they don't have money or there are money issues, it's not always true. You know, sometimes it's true. Sometimes the economy is not doing well and education is not being funded and there is no money, and that's understandable. But this time they said the same thing, and obviously there was money. There still is money, obviously, right? I think the school district has at least close to $5 billion surplus or a reserve fund, which is good, but there's a lot of members out there who need a little bit more pay, and we need better staffing, to just put it bluntly. Staffing levels are low, so the district needs to staff so that we can have better services provided to the students, because that's what we do, right? We provide a service. So if we don't have enough members or enough people to provide the service, then the service is not provided, or it's not provided adequately. So SEIU, in terms of union ranking prior to this contract or this negotiations, was considered not the top dog negotiator. Like, people were not chasing us to see what we were getting so that they can get. But with this strike and what we did with the teachers and how we all work together, I think that the union has been elevated. I'm not going to say top dog, but it's been elevated as to a union that is actually producing for the membership, that's actually leading the fight, who's actually building and finding leaders, building a bigger structure so that all members can have just a good quality of life. That's all we want. I mean, I would trade my check for quality of life. If I could have certain things, then I would forego my check and just continue to work for quality of life. But that's impossible. So we need to make enough money so that we can afford to buy the quality of life that we need. So, oh yeah, one last thing. Actually, I almost forgot. New members or people who may become members who are listening to this or might see this, if this is your first job, this obviously would be your first union that you join. But if you've been in other positions, like in private industry where there's not unions, mostly there's no union, so you get to negotiate your own working conditions, your contract, your pay, your vacation time. A lot of corporations, obviously the bigger ones, they have set standards, so you got to just go by that. But when you join a union, you're joining a group of people who are fighting for the same thing that you are going to fight for on your own if you were out in the corporate world. So I believe it's better to work with a group of people to come to an agreement, I guess, as to what you want to negotiate for, but basically to get involved again. It always goes back to involvement. So if you're a union member and you pay your dues but you don't get involved, that's okay. I mean, you're helping finance the movement to make sure that your working conditions are not trampled on. That's good. But if you want to go to the next level, then you get involved. You get involved at your school site, at your work site, at the office space that you work in. Maybe find somebody around you who has more union experience or who is involved, and maybe pick their brain. Stuff like that. But involvement is very important. I believe it's a building block, obviously, to unionism. So if nobody gets involved, then, if there's no members at the strike, then there is no strike. This past strike, it was a lot of members. So we were all on strike. Everybody did phenomenal, from the union staff to that 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many people went out on strike on probation. Okay, they were so scared, but they did it. And you did it. I don't know if you were out there and you did it. That's awesome. But really, really, that's all I really have to say about it.